Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we're going to be working on the traditional granny square. And we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be working on a traditional granny square. So you're going to need a 5mm crochet hook. You're going to need a pair of scissors, darning needle, and some scrap yarn. So we're going to start by crossing our yarn. And then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go into that first chain that we did, and we're going to do a slip stitch and chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. We are going to be working in the center here, in the center, and we're doing double crochets. Now this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So we're going to go yarn over into the space, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. That does a double crochet. And we're going to do another one. Yarn over, go through the space, in 2 loops, 2 loops. Then we're going to chain 2 to form our corner. And I'm catching my tail as I go around, okay? And you'll see why after. Now yarn over into the space. We're going to do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 3 more double crochets. 1, oops, 2, and 3. Chain 2 to form our next corner, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch into the third chain of the chain 3 we did. So to the top of the chain 3, we're going to do a slip stitch, make a big loop, cut your yarn, whoops, cut your yarn, pull your tail through the loop, and there you go. You've got your first round of your basic granny square, okay? That's what we got so far. So if you did that center right, when you give it a pull, it should cinch it right up. Okay? Okay. For our next round, we're going to start in a corner. We're going to pull that yarn through the corner. And I'm holding the tail at the back. See that? And we're just going to chain up 3. And I'm going to move that tail. Do you see how I moved it? And now I'm holding it along here. And I'm going to do a double crochet, making sure I catch the tail. And that's just to give it an extra anchor, okay? So in through the space, the corner space, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops. That is a double crochet. Now we're just going to reach to the next corner. We're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And like our other corner, we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, And now we're going to do 3 double crochet again. 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3. We're going to reach for that next corner. We're doing 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And we're going to put 3 more double crochets in that same corner space. Yarn over into the space, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. Now, now coming to this other space, you see I have this tail here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fold it so it goes along the top of my corner space here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do double crochet catching that tail. And that just anchors it a bit more. And I still weave in my threads at the end. But you know what? I never have blankets or purses or anything like that come apart because I anchor all my tails and things like that so many times. There's just no way it would come apart from that. Okay, and now we're coming back to that first corner we did, and we're just going to put 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 that we started with, and slip stitch, make your loop big, cut, pull your tail through your loop, and there you go. Your second round is done. Isn't that looking great? Now we're going to do another round. So my granny square that I am making 5 rounds big, 5 rounds wide. I don't know how you want to say it, but 5 rounds, okay? You can make granny squares any size. So if you want to go with a little itty bitty granny square, stop here. But if you want to have bigger, heck, you can even make a whole baby blanket just adding rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. Now this granny square is going to be part of a bag I'm making, which I am going to do in a future video, but watch for it. Watch for the different videos that use granny squares. Doesn't matter whether it's mine or someone else's. In my crochet playlist, I have other people's granny square ideas. Like, just watch for them. You can use granny squares for so many things. I love granny squares. Okay, for the next round, just like the last, we're going to hold our yarn with that one finger at the back, see? Okay, we're going to pull it through our corner, chain up 3. Now moving that tail so that it's along the top of that corner, we're going to do 2 more double crochets because the chain 3 counts as 1. Then I'm going to reach for that middle one, and I'm just doing 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2. And this is, I'm doing this all with scrap yarn. Like, granny squares is a great way to use up those small pieces of yarn. And the way I go to finally, because I'm a little bit of a hoarder. I mean, not like crazy hoarder like the TV shows, but you know, my craft room, I do hoard a little few things. This is a great way to determine if you're keeping things that are just way too small. So like for me, if I don't have enough yarn to make a center of a basic granny square, then I throw out the scrap. It is just too much. So we chain 2 because we're at a corner, and we do 3 more double crochet in that same space. That's the only time we do 6 double crochet in a space, is when we're doing a corner. And these new summer bags that everyone's making, I mean, it's new when I'm making this video, but who knows, it may not be a very new bag if you're watching this years later or whatever. But these new bags, I mean, they're perfect thing to make for a stash buster. You know, when you have all these little ends and you just want to get rid of those scraps, make a couple of these bags, and people love them. I can't believe it. I love mine though, so I believe that people love them. I just can't believe how popular they are. People are selling them on Etsy, and I'm sure you know, if you follow me at all, or if you're new here, I have an Etsy store for crocheting and knitting. And so I'm always watching what other people are selling and things like that. And people are selling these granny square bags for as high as $135 on Etsy. $135. I mean, I can't believe it. So we're at the corner that has the tail. So I'm just putting the tail along the back. And I'm just going to catch it when I do that first double crochet in that corner, just to give it that extra stability, okay? So yeah, people are buying these bags for like $135, and they must be lined or something. I didn't go into the whole description or anything because I didn't want to give the Etsy seller a false impression of someone looking to buy. So I just, you know, read what the title was and stuff. And yeah, $135. Like, holy cow. So my bags, I don't line. I also don't charge $135 for them. But yeah. So in the description, of course, there will be a link to my Etsy store, so you can go see the different bags I've made, and the different granny square projects I've made. But I also sell patterns. So I didn't create this pattern, so of course I'm not going to write out this pattern and sell it. But there's other patterns that I've made, like for dog sweaters and Barbie sweaters and things like that, that you can find patterns for in my Etsy store, which the link is in the description. So I'm at the corner. It's my last corner, so I'm just going to do my chain 2, and then I slip stitch into that one. Pull through, cut the yarn. There we go. Pull it through here. And look, isn't it beautiful? Our granny square is really taking shape. So I'm going to go and find one more color, and then I have my outside color I want to do, and yeah. So be right back. Just like we did before, we're going to start in a corner, pulling your new color. And I'm starting on the corner that has the tail, so I'm just putting that tail across the top of my corner. See how I'm doing that? Across the top of my corner. And then I'm going to start my chain 3, holding this tail at the back. Now we're going to do 2 more double crochets, and then we're doing 3 in each space. Then we're doing 3, chain 2, 3 in the corner. Okay, so do that all the way around. Meet me back. So I finished off this round, and now I'm going to work on my final round. And I'm sure you can see with this the pattern that you're doing, right? So it's 3 in the corner, chain 2, 3 more in the corner, 3 in each of the spaces, and repeat, right? Like, so you just do that all the way around. So to start my final one, I'm going to chain 3 in the corner. And this is why this is a great pattern for if you want to make a baby blanket and also practice your granny squares, because you can make one continuous granny square to make a baby blanket, or you can decide to do 4 larger granny squares and put them together so you can practice putting them together. You know, like there's all kinds of options. So this granny square, like I said, is going to be part of a blanket. I'll put a link in the description for the other granny squares I've made over the years, or other tutorials, because even if I do a tutorial for the same thing, you know, I may describe something just a little bit different in the like in the previous tutorial or in the new tutorial. And I even have other kinds of granny squares that I've done tutorials on. So I'll put a link in the description for those. I'll have a link for my Etsy store. And I would love to see the granny squares that you make. So I'll put a link for my Facebook group, crochet group. What else can I put a link for in my description? Oh, I also have a link for a crafting journal that I designed. That's available in my Etsy store, and I have all kinds of like crafting crochet stickers and things like that. So if you do sell to people, you know, it's a cute little thank you sticker that's crochet themed. I also have crochet themed stickers or cutouts, whatever you want to call them, for journals and planners and this kind of thing. So if you're one of those people that journals, which I am, it's a cute little thing. Like one of the things I do in my journal is I put what the item is I'm making, who I made it for, or if it went in my store, when I sold it, you know, different things like that. So yeah, it's really quite fun. So this is my final round on this granny square. I'm going to finish it up and then I'll come back and show you how I hide my threads. Everyone does it a little bit differently. And you know, as a person who's been crocheting for like over 40 some odd years, you kind of take for granted that people know how to hide their threads, like weave in their ends. And it's just not true. Not everyone knows. So I'll show you how I do it. Take what you like from how I've described things. Use what works for you. But all kinds of crafts are personal, right? Once you get the hang of it, you're going to do it so that it's the way you do things, you know? Okay, so be back in a minute and I'll show you how to hide in these ends. I'm just going to finish this round. Okay, everyone, so this is my finished granny square, but we have all those nasties to hide in the back. So here's what I do. I start in the center. Grab my yarn, thread the needle, okay, so you see here, I'm going to give that a little cinch, and then my yarn is exiting right here, right? But I'm going to go just behind it, and then I'm going to slip past it, and that's how I'm going to start to hide the thread. And I give it a good tug. You don't want to distort your stitches. And I'm not going through to the front. I'm only catching these back loops. So once again, my yarn is coming out here. I go just behind it, and then I go past. Okay, and then just behind it, and I go past. And I do that until most of that thread is gone. Okay, then I give it a cut, and there we go. We've secured that. And look at how nice and tightly closed that center is, right? Beautiful. Okay, So now we go to the next one, and this one is not the center, so you've got proper stitches. So I don't want to go through the front, but I'm catching the back loops, okay? And then I go through them, but I'm not distorting my stitches, so I don't pull it so it goes all wonky. And then I'm just gonna go kind of back up through some other stitches. Okay, and I put my thumb on it so I'm not distorting the stitches, okay? And then I'm gonna go back down again. And there we go. That's another one done. And that is how I hide my threads. So we're going to the next one. Now don't forget, I've already anchored these, like this one, see? We had it go along the top and it's coming out here, so it's already partially anchored. But like I said, I'm paranoid about things coming apart because I sell a lot of my things and I just don't want them. I would hate for something that I made someone to fall apart. So again, I'm coming out here. I'm going to go up into those stitches. I'm holding it so I don't distort them. Then I'm going to go down through. And I'm not going through to the front. I'm going to go back up. And then down once more. And there we go. That one's done. So hide all your threads and you're done your first granny square. Some people block them. I've never blocked granny squares. I mean, to me that looks pretty darn square, doesn't it? But if you do want to block it, all blocking means is you get it a little damp. You can like totally submerge it in water if you want, but then you have to roll it really tight in a towel. And then you put it on something, or you put nails or something so that it's exactly the shape you want, which is square. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and check out those links in the description like I suggested. Have a great day. Bye now.